Morning everyone. Charlie's first day today. First day at work. First day at school! No wait, that was a few years ago. It's manual handling, isn't it? Yeah. Retraining.
Thanks.
Have you got the lunch that I made you?
Yeah. You made some leftovers.
This feels very strange, like sending you off to work and I'm... well, I've done most of mine already this morning, but I'm gonna go up for a ride today. But now that you're like in work proper, I can be out all day on the bike. There's no one to keep me company now, so...
It's no different from when I was going on placement on a regular basis.
No, I know.
Which was only like...
Well, I was doing lots of hours on the bike then.
Yeah, months ago.
It was a year ago now. Yeah.
8 months ago.
Where's the year gone? Bye.
Bye.
Let's face it, you know what I'm going to do with this time. I'm going to put it into productive bike riding time, and today is just that. So for breakfast I had 75 grams of porridge oats made with water, but instead I saw Katie Kookaburra do this on her YouTube channel, where she pours boiling water into the bowl and then, well, I don't know whether she covers the bowl or not, but anyway, I covered the bowl and it made like the most kind of gooey porridge that I've ever had. And I'm not a fan of porridge most of the time, usually because of the consistency, especially early morning, but I found this very, very easy to eat. I had a couple of handfuls of blueberries in there with some honey, and that's all I've had apart from now, which is just before I head out. I'm having one of these. They're on offer actually in Aldi, and I'm having myself a cup of coffee.
Can a road bike be faster than a time trial bike on a sporting time trial course? Here we are at my local sporting time trial course, the Bletchley Circuit. What we want to compare today is my time set on a time trial bike versus my time today on a road bike. We'll look at the cumulative effect. I imagine that the road bike...
I feel like I'm in a pretty good position to comment on this because I just use a road bike when I time trial, mainly because I don't have a time trial bike, but I will do a video on this very, very shortly. I saw Chris Opie did one recently on time trial tips, so I feel like I need to weigh in on this situation, especially for those who were requesting for the video where I broke my local club's 15-mile time trial record on a road bike. It was then actually broken a week later, 2 weeks later, by Chris, who rides a full time trial setup, wind tunnel tested and everything. So I'll dig into that. It's pretty interesting if those of you are interested in that sort of thing. Oh, we're at the top. I think we're about to come up to New Inn. I'm on a sizable loop today, 5 hours probably, so I've decided to come Lampeter way via Breckford, and this is the top of the big climb out of Breckford. Look at that, blue sheep! So if you ever come to this part of the country for a holiday, like Newquay or Aberystwyth, anywhere around here, you have to send me a message, because there's some of these roads around here that like have really secret hidden climbs on, and I'll let you know which ones to avoid. But this one is a great example. You can see it's very steep about now, but it's like every single lane around here is like this. Max Stedman actually has a KOM around here. Some of you will know Max if you follow racing in the UK. Very good climber. and he called his ride 10% up, 10% down, because that's basically what all the climbs are. You never have a high average speed around here. Alright, so 1 hour and 45 minutes into the ride. I just had one of those bars, which had 40 grams of carbohydrate. So that first hour and a half, the only thing I was on was water. We've had a lot of rain recently, and the rivers are real high. But I thought I'd stop. Literally a mile or two away from Newcastle Emlyn. I'm going to be turning left. It's like a 5-mile climb, so there it is right there. So nice like 5k climb at like 4 or 5%. So I'm gonna give it some to get over it as quick as possible. But I thought I'd stop for a photo next to this Ceredigion sign, because I haven't actually gone into Ceredigion. Well, that was a solid climb, I have to say. The main road up out of Newcastle Emlyn. I'm now along the top of this climb, heading towards Carmarthen, so we're heading back now. We've got a lovely tailwind for the last 70k, which is brilliant. But I'd recommend doing that climb. I mean, it's a main road, it's very smooth tarmac. It's not that busy, to be fair. I mean, not many roads are around here, to be honest, but particularly like that climb is really good for a long effort. I managed to do about 15 minutes for the climb at about 5.5 to 5.7 watts per kilo. The idea with this ride is, well, it's the first big ride I've done now since, you know, the Tour de Stations, or at least prior to the Tour de Stations. And what I'm really aiming for today, and a lot with many of the rides I do that are, you know, longer than kind of 2.5 hours, as long as I'm sitting between kind of 0.6 and a 0.7 intensity factor, then I'd kind of class that as a really good kind of, you know, general conditioning ride. The weeks leading up to the Tour de Stations, a lot of you will know that I was doing a lot of upper zone 3 work during like 20-hour weeks, and what this did was really like bring me on without actually having any high intensity. But my intensity factor during those 3 weeks of 20-hour weeks was, I think, averaging out at 0.69. So not too intense, not too intense.
Alright, I just got back from the ride. I've now got some less fun stuff to do, like hoover and unload the washing machine. This is I mean, I just popped past my parents' house and I picked up a health food item that's almost about to go out of date, so I thought I would shove that in my back pocket and I will make use of it at home, being that our little health cupboard over here on the right is, I say health cupboard, guys, you know me, this is flat life, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't gloss over the warts, you know what I'm saying? This is how we dry kit here. So if you ever come and visit and you want to open the door, don't forget there's a pair of shorts hanging on the back of a handle and it's going to fall off, so just bear that in mind, yeah?
So I feel like my videos are getting a little bit too casual now, and we're not really like talking about a lot of interesting stuff apart from like me just taking you through my days. So if there's anything you'd like to know, or anything I can film, record, do a video on, like you name it, like anything that pops into your head within reason, let me know down in the comment section. By the way, it's not that I'm running out of ideas. I've got an actual list of kind of video ideas that I want to do, but some of them like take time, as in one of them I actually need to be able to do the time trial tomorrow to be able to tell you to make a video about said time trial. Another one I have to wait until we actually get some hill climbs going. You know, there's lots of things that happen. So if there's anything that you want to see just from a general perspective, or if you want me to take you on a deep dive into something particular, or if you want me to do any live streams that aren't Zwift races, then, you know, I can do that. You know, if there's like, if you want to see like me breaking down a training session, or if you want me to give you some tips on something, anything it can be, like any ideas you've had that you've been putting off for a while, just let me know in the comment section down below. So I got about 3,500 kilojoules of work today on the bike. So I'm thinking obviously now about replenishing all that, and, you know, making sure that I'm fueling correctly, because when I do a big ride, obviously means I can eat more food. So what I'm preparing here, which you can't quite see yet, is a corn bolognese. Me and Charlie aren't big meat eaters anyway, but we like eating veg, and we like eating, I guess, corn as well. I mean, corn a little bit easier to keep because it's already frozen, but the fact that you can make simple dishes like this out of it, it's very versatile. Have to be a little bit careful with the pennies, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is actually really good at the minute that Charlie's now back in work, because I've been like, you know, in all fairness, like, I've been paying for the rent, I've been paying for the bills to a certain extent. Charlie's paid for a little bit. I've been paying for the shopping, the weekly shop. So, you know, we're getting by, we're okay. Actually, really fun story I think I better share with you is, like, you know, the Light Lock discount code, which is EDLAV10. So basically, like, Lightlock did really good sales a couple of months back, and I managed to get, like, that discount code was used obviously by a lot of people, and we ended up like basically paying for a month's worth of rent basically off of commission that I earned from that discount code, which is absolutely mental. So I remember, like, when I used to live at home, which obviously wasn't that long ago, moved in with Charlie when, you know, the whole pandemic kicked off way back in like the end of March, and lockdown happened, and I moved in with Charlie in Cardiff when she was still in uni. And of course we moved down here, and like we moved in together properly, and like, you know, cooking, cleaning, everything else, like bill paying, you know, rent, like everything that's come along with it has been like pretty, it's all happened like really quickly. And I always feel like, you know, the best way for you to learn something is to do it, and then to like fail at it, or like struggle at it and then get better. There's only like so much reading you can do into these things, and like reading how to like, how do you find somewhere to rent, like what to look for when you first like move into a rental accommodation. Like all those things are brand new to me. And like what I'd say to like any of you who are like young, or, you know, well, you don't even have to be young, because there's more and more people who are still living at home going into their late 20s. Like, well, heck, I'm like 26 this year. So like the thing is, like, if you can cook for yourself as, no, not just as a cyclist and as an athlete, but if you can cook for yourself like ASAP, it can change the way that you think and feel, your training and just your life in general. Like I started to, well, I went through phases when I lived at home. I went through phases of where, you know, I would cook meals for myself, you know, during a period where I would want to perhaps lean down a little bit more. You know, I'd be in, I guess, charge of my own nutrition then. But then, you know, 95% of the time, you know, I just eat whatever my mum was making, and you know, she'd be making food for both me and my dad. So, you know, a lot of the time that would just be kind of your basic, like, but yeah, meat, vegetables. You know, they're not really like into like, you know, vegan and like vegetarian meals and things like that, but you know, me and Charlie certainly are, and we really enjoy eating like a wide variety of foods. But like I said, the sooner like you start doing things like this, I think it's just like so much better. And while we're on the subject, I'll show you some of our favourite cookbooks which we've got down here. I'm just trying to look, no, I think they're all down here. Some of our favourites. So this is a recent one that we picked up called Pinch of Nom. That's really good, highly recommend that one. So we've got this one. This one is excellent, by the way. Anita Bean. Anything by Anita Bean is really, really worth picking up. We've got the roasting tin, and we've also got Jamie's 5 Ingredients. I mean, who doesn't have that book? I mean, that is just like, that's like the holy grail of like shortcuts, really. And Cook on Campus, slow cooker recipes, perfect for the winter. These are just amazing. Lunchbox salads, and then the Food Medics book. That's Dr. Hazel Wallace, who